Two, one. Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got some expertise on the show. And when it comes to franchising or navigating your entrepreneurial dream, this is the episode you want to pay attention to. So let's get this one going. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Look, a business can give you everything you want in life: prestige, wealth, freedom. It can also take everything away from you. This show is for those who are willing to take that risk. These are the real life stories of entrepreneurs. But before we start, I have one small favor to ask. Please leave a comment. It can be advice, critiques, tips, feedback, or share this with someone, because your engagement is the most valuable and most powerful form of social currency. So thank you, and welcome to another episode of Business Bros. All right, business bros, let's get ready for an episode that's set to ignite your entrepreneurial spirit. Today, we're joined by an exceptional guest who's dedicated his life to transforming dreams into reality. Throughout franchise opportunities, from humble beginnings to a journey filled with success, our guest is a seasoned franchise consultant who's here to share his insights that can shape your path to business ownership. With a passion for helping people qualify for franchises, he's not just a consultant, but a mentor guiding you towards your goals. Let's dive into the world of franchise success with our esteemed guest, known as Gib, but Mr. Roland Stewart. All right, Gib, welcome to the program. Welcome to the show. Gabe, you there? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
I can hear you.
Perfect. All right. Well, welcome to the program, my friend.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
All right. You were going to tell me a little bit about your humble beginnings, and I always feel like the entrepreneurial story is very intimate, because we all kind of go through our own paths, our own ups, our own downs, our own starting points. What got you to where you are today? Tell me a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey.
What got you to where you are today? Tell me a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. Well, my ex-wife and I started with 280, kind of saved our way to $1 million, but we had a few small investments along the way, all in real estate. Got to $1 million at 48, got to $2 million at 51, and then maybe 15 years later, I was at 30 million. So that's the way we went. The whole story's told in my book. It's 99 cents on Amazon. I tried to give it away, but Amazon wouldn't let me. So it's 99 cents. It's learn, Learn, apply, APPLY, and grow rich. 99 cents, Roland Stewart.
Learn, apply, and grow rich. So from $255 in your pocket to over 30 million. Can you give me some insight on that?
So
What was probably the
me?
Yes, I can hear you. What was probably the most difficult path to do that?
From million. Can you give me some insight on that? What was probably the Yes, I can hear you. What was probably the most difficult path to do that? Oh, just the persistence. I mean, persistence is the key. I just worked on a problem for 8 hours that should have taken me 15 minutes. But I made it through. Things are corrected. That business is off and running again, and we're fine. I've just got an email from one of my general managers, and he said he's received 5 large orders in the last 3 days already, and he's pretty excited. So it's just a matter of persistent, keeping your eyes on the numbers. The numbers are the most important thing. If you know basic math, you can get through this and just keep building. Real estate was my biggest long-term program. I tried any others. Then I just got involved in a movie and television studio, and the owner didn't know what to do with it other than he knew how to operate it. And so I'm out trying to encourage people to join us, where we still have 40% of the business left to sell. So life is good.
Movie business is I've always heard it said they call it show business because there's always the show that's the flashy part.
I've always heard it said
And
they call
then
it show business
from
because there's
from
always
there
the
there's
show
also
that's
the
the
business
flashy
part, right?
part.
Show and the business.
And
You're
then
in the
from
show
from
business
there, there's
section
also the
now.
business
You've
part,
always
right?
sold,
Show and the
built, and
business.
helped
That's
people
right.
kind of grow a
You're
lot of different
in the
franchises.
show
Can you walk me through what it takes to
business
become a franchise, to become
section
a
now.
business
You've
where
always
people want
sold,
to buy
built, and
in
helped
and become
people
part of?
grow a lot of different franchises. Can you walk me through what it takes to become a franchise, to become a business where people want to buy in and become part of? Probably 20 different businesses, and I think he's about ready to do one. But you got to learn about yourself. You got to know about yourself. And then you contact someone like me, and we can sit down and go through some general information, get some idea of where you want to go and how you want to go. And then we start talking to the franchisors. Those are the people that have the companies that would like to have you working for them or with them, as the case may be, and go from there.
Vantage Point Franchise Consultants, your company, and the website, by the way, is scrolling across the bottom, vpfranchise.com.
Process can take anywhere from
It is all about actualizing dreams and helping people kind of realize those dreams. Can you share how your expertise kind of aids individuals in finding like a solid franchise opportunity that aligns with their aspirations? There's so many different franchises that you can get into. I mean,
Correct.
it could be like Chick-fil-A versus Office Depot versus In-N-Out. I mean, there's all kinds of different ones. Pet, I know there's a lot of different in the pet industry. How do you pick one that fits and aligns with you as an individual so that you can be successful in franchising?
Fits and aligns with you as an individual so that you can be successful in franchising? Well, you mentioned Chick-fil-A, and the rumor on the street is that Chick-fil-A is setting this up so that in 10 years they can buy it up and go public. Don't know if that's true or not, but as other franchises are concerned, I want to know what
I had the
strengths
VP
you have
of marketing
what
for
you
Chick-fil-A
want.
on the show in the
and I want
past,
to know where you're going.
and he said that you can't really buy in.
And he said that you can't really buy in.
Franchise that they kind of select their operators, and one of the terms and conditions to that operator has to be an active operator, can't be a passive operator for Chick-fil-A. Is that what you mean by like they're kind of strategically placing them in a position where they can buy them up and go public?
That's what I've heard a couple times. Don't know if it's true. It could be totally false. Could be interesting. Could be everybody. You should get the guy back on the phone and ask him. So that'd be interesting to see what they say. But the rumor on the street is that's what's going to happen. But we're 2 years into that. I hope to see the 8-year mark pass, and they didn't do it, because you got a lot of people that are working hard for them and have if I understand things correctly, 50% ownership. But it's pretty easy to get into a franchise. So if you're real motivated, you come in and you don't have a lot of experience, but you do have some skills, then you go into one of the least expensive franchises and you build it up over a 3 or 4 year period. And then you're starting to have a nest egg, and you can go to a bigger franchise. So it's not nobody, not everyone walks in the door and buys a McDonald's. It's just too expensive.
No,
And
that's
the
for
one down
sure.
the
I
street
mean, there's
doesn't
so
seem to be
many,
making
so
it.
many
So
different franchising opportunities
that's a bummer.
that the dollar amount to get into a franchise can be astronomical, and people just don't have that kind of cash flow or cash available to be able to buy those types of things. So you mentioned earlier that starting and managing a business requires resilience. How do you I guess challenge people to have that success, to add that value, to have that ability to persist when they're early in business and they're worrying whether persistence is something that's going to be going down the wrong road, while you're saying, that persistence can kind of get them to that next level. They can learn from those mistakes and change it to be successful versus kind of quitting if they think they're going down the wrong path.
Learn from those mistakes and change it to be successful versus kind of quitting if they think
they've inherited a heck of a lot of money. The only way to be successful is to decide you want to go to work and do the job. And then if you continue to hold on to that, be persistent, go through it. I have a number, I represent 332 different franchises. I have any number of them that if somebody just comes in, some of them you can cash flow within 4 months, 6 months. I mean, that's incredible. And if you start using that money reasonably to further your business, then it'll just you keep trying to be smart, right? Make good choices, be persistent, and I've been totally pleased with what I've seen.
Yeah, that persistence factor is not the easiest thing for a lot of entrepreneurs who are jumping into this space. There's certain things I think are crucial to understand when it comes to franchising. Number one is you're buying into an existing system, so you don't have a lot of the flexibility that entrepreneurs tend to have because you have a system. There's also the franchise is growing in the first place. There's standard operating procedures that are kind of put in place. When you're talking to people who are looking to get into the franchise space, but they tend to be creative, what's that conversation like for an entrepreneur who wants a little bit of that flexibility, that creativity to help increase cash flow, but are limited to what is bound by that particular franchise?
To what is bound by that particular franchise?
Oh, well, they can come back to me and I can go to the franchise and say, look, this is a great opportunity. This individual has proposed this thing, wants to go out and do it. You're going to give him a waiver of that sentence in the franchise agreement and use your head and probably grow a lot more than you'd ever thought. Open the conversation, make the discussion. Now, I consider myself the most flexible person in almost any room I get into for negotiations. That's just the kind of the way I tended to be successful. So I learned it pretty young.
Your story involves many different ventures, from property management to real estate. How do these expertise or experiences kind of enhance your understanding of both the franchisor and the franchisee? How do you kind of take those perspectives and
enhance your understanding of both the franchisor and the franchisee? How do you kind of take those perspectives and
Well, none of those businesses were franchises. I mean, we started with nothing. We started accumulating real estate, so we formed a property management company that is well and growing, managed by my firstborn, a young. As we grew, we saw what we were spending money on, and we decided we'd do it ourselves. So that was that. But that gets back to your question about how flexible is the franchisor. Well, some of them bill themselves as very flexible. Some of them not so much. I mean, I have a phenomenal one that it takes $100,000 to get into it, but you're going to make, and that's easier than easy. And and then you decide what's going to make it work for you. Yeah. I had no idea when I started. I had no idea what I was going to do. I failed at a number of businesses. Failed as a fuller brush man. Do you even know what a fuller brush man is? I failed at Tupperware. I tried a bunch of things, but finally decided, okay, it's better to accumulate some cash and buy something.
And I think that's a good strategy there, right? To start building that cash and kind of putting that money to work for you.
At 50 the first time, I tried to retire
money to work for you.
Yes. Yeah, the more that you can get working in your favor is what's going to make things happen. And if you get into a franchise, they're there. They want you to be successful. And most of them, the vast majority of them, help you be successful.
Yeah, it's in their best interest, of course, to help you be successful. I mean, first of all, the franchise name's on there. They want the franchises to succeed. They don't want the doors to close at any time. They want to keep them open and successful for you, the franchise owner, as well as the customers who are coming in the door to have their deliverables, whatever their deliverables may be. We're going to get low on time here. I want to make sure we kind of get your message out. What is it that you're selling? What is it? What is the opportunity that we're promoting today? And who's your target audience?
What is the opportunity that we're promoting today? And who's your target audience?
Okay, so number one is we want people. It's 99 cents. It's 99 cents on Amazon. So that takes care of that. I better plug my machine in or I'm going to go dead. Next, we want to talk about franchising. And I'm a franchise consultant. And I'm very happy to talk to anyone who's thinking about a franchise or somehow learning how to get ahead in life. Anybody can get a hold of me. continueforward@live.com. I'm plugged in now. So that's continueforward@live.com. My main address as a franchise consultant. And then then if anyone has an extra $1 million and wants to get into the movie and television industry, call me on that too.
Perfect. Well, good. Thank you very much for coming on the program today, ladies and gentlemen. His book is called Learn, Apply, and Grow Rich. 99 cents is a killer deal. You can find it on Amazon.com. Make sure you grab a copy and take advantage of the years of experience and expertise that this man has already had. If you got that extra $1 million in cash and you're ready to get involved in a franchise, you're going to want to get involved in a franchise with somebody who's already done it before in the past. I mean, it's a business model that, yes, can be successful, but has its own hurdles built in. So you want to make sure you're working with somebody who has experience in that space. Roland, Mr. Gibb, thank you very much for coming on the program today. Appreciate you taking the time. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, his website, going across the bottom, is vpfranchises.com. vpfranchises.com, and the name of the book is Learn, Apply, and Grow Rich.
We can get people into a franchise for $10,000 or less.
10 grand or less. That's awesome. See? Opportunities exist. Reach out to Roland Stewart and get to advantage of the opportunities. At least hear them out. Because again, not every franchise is meant for everybody. But then again, if you have an opportunity that's presented and it makes sense, like you said, you have some opportunities that can cash flow in a few couple months. That's a positive investment. Do your homework, do your research, get some expertise, some experts to kind of give you advice on what they think is the right deal, and then go ahead and take action. That's what it's all about. Roland, thank you very much for being on the program. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Thank you much.
It's over. Go home.
Is your business in need of marketing? Try starting a podcast. But not just any podcast. Podcast like a pro. We can show you how to take your business from being invisible to becoming a brand people trust. Go to www.businessbros.biz to get started today.